Hello. Hi, Brandon. I can't hear you at the moment, but I hope everybody else could hear you. How are you
Sorry, no,
this
I was
week?
muted there. Yes, doing well. Welcome to Options Hour. We're going to talk about the options news for the week and also look at the intern portfolio's options trade. So, very excited to be meeting with Rosalie, aka Crypto Queen, here. And I'm Brandon, doing research at Panoptic. And yeah, it's been a good couple of days since we last spoke on Monday. We do these live streams a couple times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm doing a little seminar this week with Tony Robbins online. So I'm like very motivated and doing a lot about like planning, rapid planning method. And it's all about like productivity and for work and stuff. And so I'm psyched about everything that I'm learning. And yeah, I'm really excited about the market as well, the crypto news and interns account as well, since intern is not listening to us today. We're just going to kind of check in on the positions. There's no new positions, and um, he'll have to make sure to listen to me when to close the positions. But yeah, so nothing we say here is financial advice. We'll just, giving our analysis, our opinions, and we want to just show everybody that options are not as scary as they may seem. And if I can trade, you can too.
Right, Rosalie here is a veteran trader now. So just a couple of months ago, I think Rosalie had never traded options, and now Rosalie's trading options every day, every week, and it's great to see kind of the learning curve and how if you kind of watch our live streams going back from day one, you can kind of watch like the progression. Really nice. And yeah, I guess what would you say, knowing what you know about now about options trading, is this something that only you'd recommend like some people do, or like who is options trading for in your opinion?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I would recommend it to anybody that really trades, has experience like in crypto already. And I mean, even if you want to learn about crypto and you want to like become financially independent, I would recommend it as well. But most of my friends are already like in crypto and trade. And so I think regardless of if you are holding tokens and you're not really sure what to do with them, but you don't want to sell them yet, options are great. If you anticipate a big price move and you just like feel really powerful emotions towards the price going in one direction, options are great. And also if you do have a lot of money that's kind of just like sitting around and you want to make sure you're kind of capitalizing on fees and earning in the meantime. So I'd say it's for everyone, but maybe I'm just a little biased because I'm here. But yeah.
Definitely, we're very biased here at Panoptic, but no, it'd be great to have some extra money sitting around. That's a great problem to have. But yes, always looking for the best yields in DeFi. So there's lots of uncorrelated yields. I would say with options trading, a lot of it is quite different than what you see in the space of liquid staking tokens, restaking, those kind of things, perps. Even this is quite orthogonal to those types of returns, where you could be earning when everyone else is losing, and the trade-off is sometimes you're losing when everyone else is earning. But in risk management, you kind of want to mitigate the downside. You want to minimize how much you're losing, and you want to be potentially even earning in the bear markets or in the sideways markets. So we're in a bull market right now. I think a lot of people are making good amounts of money just by being exposed to the space. As you know from the title of this stream, the golden age is ushering in, according to a new memo by the Trump administration. So we'll get into that option news later and look at some of the call options that people are purchasing in reaction potentially to this news. But let's take a look first at the intern portfolio. So this is the Panoptic intern who listens to Rosalie every live stream and may or may not follow Rosalie's non-financial advice here. But we like to take a look and see the portfolio trades, how everything's going. I don't believe any changes have been made since Monday, so maybe just the market fluctuations and how that has impacted the portfolio. We can take a look there. I think I have to add your screen here. Okay, so we're now taking a look.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. So I'm kind of positioning myself in lots of different pools just so that I could be capital efficient in many different markets and get exposure to many different markets. Everything seems to be looking good except for this with Sol one that you can tell. This is like a little trick I learned from Guillaume. If the delta is it says 1.02 right here, so and the spread is 0, so I know that this is out of range. I believe we looked at this on Monday. It is still out of range. It's moving further out of range, so it was just like a little trick that I learned, but definitely would love to close this position. One position has not really worked for us, one pool, that's fine. All the other ones are doing good. I wanted to look at just two markets today, potentially the USDC ETH pool and then the Bitcoin ETH ratio as well. Here, I think we have some bullish positions, two bullish positions, and one bearish position to kind of offset that. Let's actually just take a look at the whole portfolio, the whole market instead, so that we can know exactly how we're doing since we have different positions. So this is our P&L curve right now. If we add our deposits, we're fairly bullish. I'd like to see a little bit more wiggle room on the other side, but that is okay for now. Curious to see these positions. They look so similar. One is a little bit in the red and one is in the green, but nothing too bad. I think what happened here is we started to pay some premia. This was out of range before, so we had gotten a free option here, but somebody moved that liquidity, and so now it's in range, and we're paying for this option now.
Okay, well, looks like this is a call spread, if I can see. So yeah, it's a little small, the text, because I'm streaming from my phone, which we'll have some. I'm getting a new laptop, so hopefully we'll have some very lag-free live streams in the future. But yeah, very excited to see this position. So this is a call spread, I believe, which kind of limits your risk, right? So really, if the price moves a lot, either up or down, you're really limited to how much you can lose. Unlike perps, where the price moves and you're losing, and you might get liquidated. Here, it's much harder to get liquidated just because the whole loss that you can take is much more defined. Yeah, I can't see the exact P&L, but it's like what, negative, how much, 100? 105. So that's kind of your limit on the downside. This isn't like truly limited to that, because as you saw, one of the legs that you're buying on Panoptic, you're paying this premium every block, and so that amount can increase, but it increases quite slowly, as you see on the premium chart. If you click on that premium tab again, the chart goes kind of down at a very gradual angle. So unlike traditional options, which are like fully capped at the premium, the perpetual options here on Panoptic get paid over time. So the premium is, you can't know exactly what it'll be in advance, but you do know that it's going to be quite gradual under the assumption that the underlying Uniswap pool is quite liquid and really unmanipulatable, which it is, because I think we're on which pool is this? The ETH USDC?
Yes.
So yeah, so very liquid Uniswap pool, very healthy liquidity, which provides some sufficient kind of safety rules for the option traders on top of it. So with this with the call spread, yeah, it's very nice to know that your losses are quite limited here. This is a very safe trade, but it also means that you're only going to make so much money, which I can't. What's the max gain here on the green?
The max gain is 535.
Okay, so lose 105 or gain
155.
lose
Yeah.
105
Or
or
gain
gain 500. So that's kind of the trade-off here, the bet that we're taking, and it looks like you are paying to hold this. So obviously you want the price to move in the right direction sooner rather than later, so you don't have to keep paying. But yeah, this is a great.
It's on the way. It's already gone up. Just needs to go a little bit more so that we can get into this profit page profit space, and then we'll see, potentially the profits could offset the Streamia, or like you mentioned, at least this is kind of used to protect myself from a downward move as well. So not too worried about this market at the moment. I think it's a great time to be bullish on ETH and Bitcoin as well, as always. But we are also trading the ratio, which is very exciting. BTC ETH ratio trade. Here we see a healthy amount of liquidity as well. In Panoptic, kind of around the strike price could be this stuff here is currently could be moved a little bit more, but I think this looks really great. And here you can see we have a very bullish payoff. I would think, yeah, it would be even more bullish with the deposits, but overall we are exposed to the downside, but fairly confident in the ratio. We are 2% up after 9 days, which is fine. This is a very small position. It's moved just a tiny little bit, but we are trying to capitalize on the ratio. Let's take a look at where it's going. Yeah, so it's basically exactly where it started, but that is okay. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's great for your position, which is just collecting LP fees. It looks like it's in range. The price is kind of wiggling around, and although we would like the ratio to go up, meaning ETH to outperform a little bit because this is a bullish position, we're okay with the price staying the same. It looks like, because yeah, there's your Streamia up and to the right. We always like seeing a nice 45-degree angle here of Premia collection.
Yes, and we have a nice range as well. So even if the price moves against, we will still be earning fees up until this point right here. So hopefully, yeah, next week we can maybe add another position to this pool where we could earn more fees and capitalize on that. But for now, I think everything looks good. We are not losing any money at the moment. Maybe I want to look at one more. I'm going to see here as well. So this is just Bitcoin USDC. We are making 6% here and 2% on this position. Again, these are very small positions. They've been open for quite some time, but happy to see that while we're holding, we are doing something effective with the money that's helping us earn a little bit more for our fees.
Sweet. And so this is all public, right? You can check out the intern's portfolio. Do you want to explain how you're viewing another person's portfolio here on Panoptic?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways to get there. I really like this trade tab that we have right on the home screen where you can see kind of what recent positions have been opened and have been closed. So mint means they were open, burn means they were closed. Um, yeah, is there anyone that you would like to? I know you mentioned call
Yeah,
options
that's
in
right. So
your
that's we see a lot of call options. There's two put
um
options there, but if you look at the most recent trades, which I agree is very fun to see, you see that people have been opening and closing, but mostly opening these call options. They've also been selling these put options. These are all bullish positions. I think there's a lot of excitement of what is to come. So yeah, let's take a look at this call option. So this one was actually closed. It looks like, and I can't see any of the text details because it's too small on my phone. But yeah, why don't Rosie you analyze a little bit of what this call option here is?
Yes, totally. Okay, so they bought this call option at a min price of 3,046 and closed it at 3,815. So they made 73% in profits. They were paying about 56 USDC for premia and were able to make more than $250 in these in about 16 days, so a little over 2 weeks. It went up quite a bit, and I think they made a good choice as well with closing it, even though there is much more upside this person could have gotten. I think it's good to know when to take your profits and exit. So I'm glad to see that this person was kind of adamant about that, and yeah, I think this looks really really good.
Interesting. Yeah, it's so nice to be able to just click on people's trades and be able to see all the details there like that. I think Panoptic really makes it visible and transparent and easy. A lot of DeFi apps I've been using lately, trying to explore, and really hard to see what is going on and what other people are doing, even if it is on the public blockchain. So, love this feature that we can kind of just break down other people's call options. And 70% is kind of insane. How long was this position held for?
16
All right.
days.
Okay. So just over 2 weeks. So very nice gains here in the last couple of weeks. I think the last 2 days, the ETH price has kind of been steady. So the internal portfolio is doing kind of the same as it was, if anything, harvesting some nice volatility premiums. But yeah, is there any other trades you want to look at?
Yes, I wanted to check out this strangle right here just because I myself am very interested in strangles, and I get a little bit jealous when other people are taking directional bets and they're making so much money like this 70% we just saw, because I tend to be more delta neutral and so might be missing out on some things. But it's great to see also other people taking the delta neutral route and earning fees here. We can see that this person held this position for 19 days or 17 days. And even though they lost at 8% because the price did go up, they were able to earn almost $300 in fees. It didn't offset it fully, but to kind of just help offset that. In the meantime, I'm sure if you are doing delta neutral hedges or delta neutral positions, you're also holding ETH. So I'm sure this person wasn't too devastated with the little bit of loss, and got to earn some
Good
fees in
point
the
with
meantime.
the hedging of your collateral, basically. So, but yeah, one thing about the delta neutral LP trade here, which is the straddle, very popular trade on Panoptic, but you do have to stay delta neutral, and it's not easy to stay delta neutral, as we've seen here. The price has moved from where it was originally created, I believe. So it was created around a zero delta, which means that if the price moves, you don't lose anything, you don't gain anything, you just collect the LP fees and the options premium. But if the price moves a lot, the delta does change. That's what gamma is. So because gamma is not zero, that means when the price moves, the delta moves, and so you're no longer delta neutral. So you have to stay on top of the position if you want to keep it delta neutral. This is something we're exploring actually with our vaults to keep your position mostly delta neutral, something like close to delta of zero. And as we see, the price has moved and their delta is nearly -1, I think. So
yeah, -1.8 where they closed. And so once it gets to a delta of 1, I think that's kind of where you'd want to rebalance or close.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do it sooner than that, unless you think the price is going to go back. But when you have that delta of -1, as you said, you're basically trading a perp. So they're shorting a perp at that point. And as we know, the price has been very bullish lately. So shorting, what market is this? ETH? Yeah, so shorting ETH has not been a good trade recently. So yeah, well, we'll explore and see more of that later. But very interesting trade there.
And if you ever do want to kind of get inspiration from the trade page, or you can also check out the leaderboard. We are giving people pips. Those are our Panoptic points, and you can see how many points people are earning, how they're doing it. We could just pick somebody at the top of the leaderboard and kind of spy on them, see what they're doing, get inspiration, or see maybe what not to do. If you want some inspiration, our leaderboard is
yeah, an update on the points here. I'm glad you mentioned that because people are chugging points. People are doing a great job of really earning these points. I think a lot of our users are very happy and comfortable with figuring out how to earn points. And there's a lot of different categories. So you have the depositors who earn points just by depositing funds into Panoptic. They're not trading options. This is like 700 of our users. So like a good amount of users are just depositing in and not trading. And then of course, the ones who do trade are earning way more points. So if you sell options, if you LP into Uniswap through Panoptic, lots and lots of points there from that seller category. So that's the same thing as LPing. If you LP, it's like selling options. You're gonna earn points. Now, where we're really lacking is buyers for some reason. So as you saw there, we do have the occasional buyers. So people are buying call options, some are buying put options, but really there's not as many buyers as there are sellers, which is actually great news for those who are interested in using the platform because it means that there's a lot of liquidity for you to go out and do the directional trades and really take on the other side of Intern and Rosalie and some of the other Panoptic traders here. So lots of buyer points available there for you and lots of liquidity as well. So cheap options right now on Panoptic because there's so much good liquidity.
And I mean, it seems kind of like a no-brainer right now. Is a good time to buy options because it looks like the market is looking really up these days. I know taking directional bets can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes I'm like, oh, why aren't there more buyers? When personally I'm like, I don't want to buy. So I wonder why if all I'm doing is like showing how fun it is to sell options, right? But definitely we've seen a lot of people make great directional bets. And so, we're happy to kind of share these stats with everybody and be transparent.
But yeah, that's the great thing about options. It's your personality. There's something for everyone. If you like small gains consistently, then you need to actively manage your selling options. But if you like the big lottery prize tickets, buying options may be more for you. Of course, perps is very, very fun if you love to just slide that leverage slider up from 1x to something more than 1x. But like with options, you have this protected downside. So it's kind of like playing the lottery, but someone cutting your losses at a certain point. So a lot of added protection with option trading. Nothing we say here is financial advice. Of course, please do your own research as always. But yeah, let's go into the news of Options Hour. We'll explore some of the weekly headlines that Rosalie has prepared for us here. So what's first on the news?
First on the news, we have a trading competition that Deribit and Signal Plus were doing. It's ending soon, but since we do lots of trading competitions, we thought this was particularly interesting.
Yeah, I think we do our own trading competition on Panoptic every month, but very fun to see kind of the prizes that people are doing. This is very geared towards crypto traders. I think trip to Hawaii, despite I think the tsunami passed and was hopefully less damaging than everyone was thinking overnight. But trips to Hawaii here, we have Teslas, really fun stuff. So this is not our trading competition. This is a Deribit Signal Plus trading competition. So this is nothing to do with us. So please do your own research before participating. But it's fun. Like we want to highlight these opportunities for traders to really get into options and get comfortable with options. So trading competitions are always a fun time to explore. I think one fun kind of feature they have here is where you can team up with people. And so you kind of team up and you choose your star sign. Like I think you choose like a star, a moon, or a sun. And every day they come out with like the star sign that Deribit or Signal Plus chooses. And if you match it, then you're like entered into this lottery. I can't remember, it's to win the Tesla or something. But unfortunately, the competition does end in like a day and a half from now. So it might be too late to join. But I figure we should highlight these kind of fun opportunities for the trading community to participate in.
This is very fun. I mean, obviously they have incredible prizes, so the incentives are quite high. But I think it's great to see that people are actively trading options, and I think the star signs are great as well. Personality quizzes and horoscopes are very fun. There are a lot of analysis on the moon cycle and its relationship to Bitcoin. I'm not much of a horoscope girly myself, but I love to see it.
Yes, love it. Well, yeah, very interesting, these trading competitions. So always fun to see in the space. I think that it really makes things fun. So we'll also have a trading competition coming up in August. So stay tuned for the details. There, we're going to announce which pool it's on and what the rewards are. But in the past, we've done multiple ones on Unichain and Base, and there have been some really fun prizes, including but not limited to a Michael Saylor laser eye pillow and also a gigantic duck plushie for Panopduck, which I don't know if we've ever explained the origins of, but maybe one day we'll shed some light on the lore of Panopduck.
Yes, definitely. That duck was incredible. I mean, it was like huge.
Bigger than me.
Who doesn't want a fun cuddle buddy for LPing? Here is our next news segment. A nice, beautiful picture of our president. I think there's some good news coming from the leadership side of things here.
Yeah, that's right. Not too many details here, but mostly signaling of a roadmap as "quote unquote" the golden age for digital assets gets ushered in. So more news from the White House of moving forward with clarity and regulation. I think there's a Clarity Act that was recently passed in some body of government, really providing more clarity on stable coins and also tax. And how that will be taxed in the United States on crypto. Big moves forward here, but lots of positive signaling, at least from the regulatory branches, to bring in this golden age. I think it's kind of just in the flow of things that have been being worked on for the last 2 years or so, from the crypto lobbyists and also the regulators drafting up these regulations, really trying to provide some market structure. So yeah, kind of the main things here: stable coin regulation, market structure, and also taxation policies, which have been frustratingly unclear from just with the nature of new instruments and staking and LPing. And we hear say that LP equals options, but are they taxed as options? Are they taxed as two assets? Their composition keeps changing. Like, who knows, right? These things are so complicated. So it'd be great, as always, to get some clarity and relief here. But the key point is the golden age of crypto. So we'll see if it's coming or not. I'm always wondering if we should short the news and basically be bearish from this point on, or is this the start of a catalyst of new regulatory invest and groundwork and investments flowing into the space? What do you think? Are you bullish or bearish on the long-term outlook here?
I'm still bullish. I think long term we're really going to see everything kind of change and shift towards lots of stable coins, lots of new things being built on Ethereum. And I was looking up the news earlier today, and I was coming across a lot of really bullish things on ETH. I'm like blinking out on the details right now. There was something that said about only 18% of its potential has been reached for ETH. And while like Bitcoin is very structured in a way that it's really kind of just for growth in towards one direction, and for investment, ETH really has more potential as well to unlock. I can't find the article now, unfortunately. I should have.
Yeah, I saw something similar, like people upping their exposure to like 10% in their treasuries. Like, that's a lot of flow of funds coming into the space, and potentially maybe what has caused the huge rise of like 50% increases in the last month or so of ETH. So yeah, we don't know. Is more to come? Is Harvard's endowment gonna allocate to ETH? I don't know. Is your grandma's mutual funds gonna start buying ETH? Who knows at this point?
100%. I'm also just seeing this headline here: Hyperliquid plans automated refunds for affected users following API outage. So that is also very interesting. I think when you're doing perps or options like we do fully on chain, these kind of issues could be avoided. So I just wanted to flex.
Yeah, no. So Hyperliquid has been very popular, seeing surge in demand. So API outages, of course, are related to more centralized infrastructure. The APIs make it easy for you to trade directly, or kind of like somewhat directly with the on-chain protocol. So Hyperliquid is on-chain, and if you directly like put trades on there, you wouldn't experience that problem either. But when you do go through the APIs, you're relying on some type of service providers that could be like Amazon Web Services or someone else. So it's kind of this middle layer. So the nice thing about the on-chain protocols, as you mentioned, is you have the option of going directly and submitting through the smart contract. But I think most people have kind of their management systems set up to run automatically, and so they're going to be just going through the API. So there was an outage for like 30 minutes or something, caused a lot of frustration, as of course we now expect very high user experience quality from Hyperliquid, because it's being lifted up to the Binance level. And of course, if Binance experienced a service outage, everyone would be screaming their heads off. So similar thing for Hyperliquid. I think they've handled this actually quite well, even providing refunds for users who got confused about the issue, because there's some weird details. Like, there were some errors that were coming out where it's saying like your orders weren't going through, but they actually were going through in the end, and they might have gotten submitted and processed like delayed, but they ended up going through. But anyways, lots of confusion there on the Hyperliquid side, but good
great.
handling.
Hyperliquid has an amazing community, and they are really putting in all the work to have everybody be as satisfied as possible. And so, yeah, we love to see that. Sometimes, you gotta be a little bit patient. It is, we're all kind of just small startups. The crypto space is still new.
There's like 10 employees at Hyperliquid. So when these things happen, 30-minute response time, quite quick. So of course, we do expect great things because it's the on-chain Binance, but greatly handled, I think, actually from their side, and hopefully they can find some bigger scaling to prevent these types of issues as they keep growing here. But yeah, the Hyperliquid token did take a little dip. I think 3% drop during this period, as kind of some fears over the outage. But I think overall well handled by the team, and issuing refunds when no one really was necessarily expecting this. So yeah, in the news, I think we have 1 or 2 other articles.
Yep. Is my internet lagging this time? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. There's a little bit of delay, but let's move to the next article.
Alrighty, here we go. Are you able to view the screen?
Yes, it should be up now. There might be a little delay, but so I see here Kraken is doing something.
Yes. So the XRP futures volume on Kraken has surpassed Sol for the first time, and I think this is a great sign. XRP has had that lawsuit for a really long time with the SEC, and so this is finally kind of coming to an end. The price has moved about 40%, and people are interested in selling futures or buying futures on XRP. So this gives us great indication that it's not just about Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are so many other tokens that people want exposure to, and it's hard to find kind of the platforms where you can trade other tokens, because Bitcoin and ETH seem to be the most liquid on many of the other protocols we see and many of the hooks for Uniswap. And so really figuring out a way how to where or how to kind of trade other tokens. You can see there's some Sol futures and XRP futures. So this is just, really bullish on the whole industry. And I just wanted to highlight this.
Yeah, I did see XRP was part of the strategic reserve in the latest news. So I think ADA was mentioned, XRP, ETH, and I think there's no mention of Bitcoin was kind of the highlight. So interesting enough, but I think there is kind of a lot of speculation going on here of XRP's like future and where it's going. I personally have never used the Ripple blockchain. So it is a whole separate kind of ecosystem, which makes it very difficult, as you mentioned, to trade on because it doesn't really integrate, or it's not compatible with the Ethereum or Solana ecosystems. And so something like a centralized exchange like Kraken will allow you to trade these futures, these derivative instruments on the token. And kind of the cool thing about futures is you can create these instruments that really trade anything. They can trade the price of tokens that haven't even been released yet, as we've seen on the Avo platform. But yeah, you can get exposure to any of these things. So interesting to see that XRP's volumes are going up relative to Sol. on Kraken. I think maybe some speculation or maybe even some people that know something we don't here.
Yes, I think, yeah, Ripple has definitely, in my mind, taken like a very boomer position. And so I think this kind of volume makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of institutional interest, and when people see that, they feel more safe, right? It feels less degen. And so I remember when I wanted to buy it for the first time, I was located in Texas at the time, and they didn't let me. But I think now you can, Coinbase has it available for all states. I'm always in a state like New York or Texas, and then my browser is always yelling at me. But
Oh my gosh, I remember when I first made a Coinbase account. There's like only 3 markets on the whole coin. It's like Ripple and Bitcoin and ETH. Back in the days, I don't think Solana was even listed on Coinbase. But yeah, crazy to see where we've come from there, with Perps now being listed on Coinbase.
Yes, I think it's definitely looking very bullish. Some other news that I had were also about PayPal accepting more than 100 different cryptocurrencies as payment. I think we also saw the recent news of the new Base wallet app that came out. They have partnered with more than 1,000 different stores and merchandises for users to be able to buy and pay with cryptocurrencies. I haven't used it myself, but I saw a really good looking commercial from Coinbase for their new
Oh, I thought you were going to say from American Eagle.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks just like Amazon, and you can I think we're seeing a lot more payment adoption, and yeah, I think we're maybe it is time to sell the news now that I think about it. Everyone's like extremely bullish right now.
Yes, if you still have any ETH left to sell. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, very, very exciting in the space. I think there's a lot going on kind of the small front of the massive onboarding of users and institutions, which moves very slowly because it's regulatory things and wallet UX. These things move slow, but what doesn't move slow is your ability to trade on them. So perps, futures, options, and perpetual options. Great tools to really put on your bets and put your money where your mouth is. So let's see if you think the top is here. You'd be buying some puts. Otherwise, maybe buy some calls on the golden age that may or may not be ushering in from this administration in the U.S. But anyways, thank you for coming to Options Hour and listening to our TED Talks. This has been great. We'll cue the music here. We'll see you all on Friday. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we look at the intern option portfolio options trades. And on Friday, we'll take a look at some of the best and worst trades in the perpetual options market here. So
that is my favorite segment. Although I do like trading myself as well. The guessing game you guys play for the best and worst trades is always something I look forward to. So I'm happy to be doing that with you this time instead of Guillaume. So
sweet. Well, we'll have to play some games on Friday and hope everyone survives the markets until then. So we'll see you all next